They sure weren't.
Go down the middle, son.
Yeah, but you got new running back too. I mean, it's a combination of a lot of things on that offense.
Palmer gets it outside. Warwick. Peter Warwick out of bounds.
Now you're thinking now you're going to get offensive if you're the Cincinnati Bengals. One of the things I talked to John Kitna about when we were out on the field on Friday night, he said the thing that I am most impressed with Carson Palmer is the simple fact that he always goes to the right place. That time he went to Peter Warwick. You can see he's thrown to him 11 times tonight with 6 completions. But he said that's what's so impressive about the young man.
They need about 23 more yards to get in range for a 50-yard field goal try.
They have plenty of time. 2 timeouts, a minute 28.
Palmer, Warwick, I beg your pardon, not Warwick, Matt Schobel.
And that's the first down, but Schobel got in bounds. They held him in bounds.
Plenty of time. Still have 2 timeouts. You know, you're looking to pick up 25 yards right now.
Palmer gets him lined up in a hurry.
This one will probably go up to the left side.
Or the right side.
Woo.
Schobel again.
Man, that was Will Poole.
Yeah, he's hurt.
Yep.
Well, they're running out of corners.
The Bengals have not beaten the Miami Dolphins since 1977. Trailing by 1 point in the 4th quarter, this flea flicker from Ken Anderson to Bob Trumpy propelled Cincinnati to the last victory over Miami. That was nearly 27 years ago. Now they're trying to repeat and get closer. Miami's won the last 9 times they played.
Now, Will Poole is back up on his feet. And Will Poole was down. The trainers came out. But Cincinnati took a timeout. So when the trainers come out on that case, Will Poole doesn't have to go off the field for a play.
That is correct.
The 25 yards rushing allowed by the Bengals defense tonight is their 2nd lowest in the history of the franchise.
And Will Poole has gone off the field.
Yeah, because what they did is that they didn't charge Cincinnati with a timeout. They charged Miami with a timeout, the injury timeout.
Inside 2 minutes, if a player goes down and has to have trainer assistance, you lose a timeout. And, you know, at this point, to be honest with you, Dave wants that. It doesn't really matter to his football team at this point because their biggest concern now is making sure Cincinnati doesn't pick up a lot of yards.
But it still gets that timeout goes back on Cincinnati's side, so they still have 2.
Blitz up the middle, but they pick it up. Chad Johnson, a 20-yard pickup. A great throw from Carson Palmer.
That's what happens when you blitz. When you blitz and they stop you at the line of scrimmage, now you're in man-to-man coverage down the field. You're trying to cover Chad Johnson.
That was a terrific job by the offensive line, giving him a chance to stand in there and throw it.
First down. Palmer gets it out to Matt Schobel again.
Well, they have plenty of time. They have 23 seconds. They have 2 timeouts. They've got all the time in the world. All right, here's the throw to Chad Johnson. Look at how open it is, but you've got a man-to-man coverage on Chad Johnson. I mean, he's been frustrated, but when they throw it, he caught it.
But you know what? He doesn't quit working. And that is the sign. That is a sign of a real pro. Carson Palmer's done a real nice job. 7 of 8 on this drive, 53 yards. Like Chad Johnson says, he's the real deal.
Johnson gets him closer. Kenny Watson, I beg your pardon, not Rudy Johnson.
Now, Carson Palmer's looking at the sideline.
Yeah, he wanted to take a timeout because they have two and run another play. But they're not going to do it.
You should take it sometime. They ran it down to 5 seconds, took the timeout.
Yeah, but Carson Palmer, you think he's in the game? He had 20-some seconds, and he looked at the sideline and he said, I have 2 timeouts. Let me run another play. Get a little bit closer.
And they said no.
That's right. So the coach said, no. That's why we paid his field goal kicker, Graham.
From here, it's going to be about 39 yards.
Shane Graham was 10 for 10 last year from this distance, inside between 30 and 39 yards. He only missed 3 all last year.
The redhead, man. Redheads can kick.
However, he missed from 38 yards earlier in this game.
That's right.
I love it when they throw
wide right.
Hey, you know what? When Pat comes in with the however.
when he says however, I know I'm going to be corrected.
It isn't good.
I know I'm being corrected.
All right.
It was not a correction. It was a fact.
It was a correct fact.
That one looks good. It is good. 2 seconds left.
That was a wonderful drive, and you talk about a learning experience for a football team, not just the quarterback, but for this entire football team. This is terrific. That's good stuff. This is good stuff. That ball was just a little bit high, but look at.
Good job in the middle by that offensive line. Actually, a good job through this entire drive by the offensive line. Carson Palmer had all the time in the world. There I am. I got him there. I got him there. Ooh! Yes! I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Boy, doesn't that tell us
what a job he's done.
Story.
There's
Marvin Lewis.
He knows what's there.
He wanted to leave the field. He thought the game was over.
Just wanted to make sure the official put his hands up.
No, he's getting ready to leave. They took timeout too soon. They should have taken it with 3 seconds.
There's a tired Jason Taylor. Miami's defense did everything they could to try and keep this football game close. And
they did keep it close.
A.J. Feely and this offense is going to be a work in progress all year. They might not rush for 100 yards through the entire season. I mean, they may have to just try and win games throwing.
The bounding kickoff.
And as you walk in the
This one's over. Marvin Lewis headed to the center of the field, shaking hands with Dave Wanstead. A hard-fought 16-13 victory for Marvin Lewis, the Cincinnati Bengals, and Carson Palmer. Let's go down to Susie Colbert with Marvin Lewis.
Well, fitting it's the Bengals. You had to scratch and claw. What does this say about your team?
Well, we have a hard time doing things easy, so we like to work, and it's a 60-minute ball game every time we play it. Just proud of how they finished it, and when we had to move it, we moved it.
How impressed are you with Carson Palmer on that final drive?
Well, he continues just to play within himself and not try to do too much, and that's what we need right now.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Susan. All right.
Final score, Cincinnati 16, Miami 13. Stay tuned for SportsCenter coming up next. For Joe Theismann, Paul McGuire, Susie Colbert, and our entire ESPN crew, Pat Summerall saying goodnight from Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
Entering this Monday night game, Denver's John Elway never lost to the Kansas City Chiefs in Mile High Stadium. while neither Joe Montana nor Marty Schottenheimer had ever beaten the Broncos in Denver.
Exactly what we got to do. Let's finish now. We got our hand on that damn run for number 4. Let's finish that son of a job.
This intensity quickly escalated as a duel between two of the NFL's greatest quarterbacks generated spectacular results.
5-step drop, looking for the end zone. J.J. Bird, touchdown!
Montana and Elway combined for over 650 yards passing and 5 touchdowns. And as the game wound into the fourth quarter, it looked as though the team that owned the ball last would win the game.
Touchdown! He does it again!
With 4:08 remaining, the Chiefs had the lead, but the Broncos had the ball. But on the ensuing drive, disaster struck Denver.
Looks downfield, fires a curl route to Shannon Sharp, makes the catch. Immediately hit, fumbles the football. Are they going to rule him down? No, the Chiefs get the football! Kansas City picks up the turnover with 2:45 left in the ball game.
Now, all the Chiefs needed was to run out the clock. But for Denver, old habits like beating Kansas City die hard.
Lead play, Marcus Allen trying to hang on to the football and goes down for a loss of 2 at the 39. And now they're going to say the ball's loose and Denver's got the ball. Marcus Allen fumbles the football. Recovered by Carl Mecklenburg.
Incredibly, back-to-back fumbles kept Denver alive. But 5 plays later, the Broncos lined up a man short on 3rd and goal.
We need another receiver, John! We need another receiver!
Shannon Sharp atoned for his earlier fumble with some quick thinking that turned a potentially demoralizing play into the go-ahead touchdown.
They got 10 men on the field. Elway's going to run it up the middle. Flag is down. Elway scores.
If you have 7 on the line of scrimmage, the play should stand. And I thought Shannon moved up in the line of scrimmage.
Right. Touchdown. I'm on the line. I'm playing with 10. I'm on the line.
This extraordinary chain of events gave the Broncos the lead and left only a minute 22 seconds for the Chiefs' Joe Montana, a man who always seemed most comfortable with his back pinned to the wall.
Back to throw is Montana. Screen pass right, Marcus Allen. He's at the 25, Marcus at the 30.
Using just 43 seconds, the Chiefs ran off 5 plays that swept them to the Denver 47-yard line. Mile-high thunder could not distract Montana from his mission.
36 seconds left in the game. Deep drop in the pocket. Sets up, looks left, fires left. Anders puts on a juke move. 40-yard line. Out of bounds at the 36-yard line. 1 timeout left for the Chiefs. 20 seconds left in the game. 28-24 Denver. 5-step drop, fires a slam. Caught by Green. He's inside the down at the 5-yard line. The Chiefs call timeout with 13 seconds left in the game.
The Broncos watched as their own heroics were eclipsed by the game's brightest star. 2 legendary quarterbacks had waged the most dramatic duel of the year, and Joe Montana would fire the final shot.
10 of 11 for the last passes for Montana. He now has 402-yard passing. But he needs 6 more.
Montana takes the snap, back to throw, looking right, firing a pass that, a leaping grab, Willie Davis, touchdown Kansas City, Willie Davis made the catch, curled inside the right pylon, touchdown Montana Magic, Kansas City takes the lead with 8 seconds left. This game's over, and you listen to me closely, bury the bones, clean the skeletons out of the closet. Marty's got his first one at Mile High, Joe's got his first one at Mile High, and for the first time since 1982, the Chiefs win in Denver 31-28. There ain't no more streaks in Denver.
Orbit تحطم الرقم القياسي مع أفضل تغطية رياضية.
المركز الرياضي يضعك في الصفوف الأمامية وينقلك إلى قلب الحدث. تغطية مباشرة وتحليل لأهم البطولات العربية والعالمية مع نخبة من ألمع الخبراء والصحفيين الرياضيين. المركز الرياضي مع ياسر علي ديب من الاثنين إلى الجمعة مباشرة على الرياضية.
Have you tried TV Max? Now it's even easier to order the latest releases. Whether you're at home, at work, or just relaxing, visit the Orbit website at www.orbit.net. Go to the TV Max homepage and order online. TV Max, your home movie theater.
In Dallas on November 3rd, 1996, the objective was obvious. With the 5-3 Cowboys a game behind the visiting Eagles in the NFC East standings, both teams were looking to give the other the boot. It was Dallas who delivered the first swift kick.
10 to the 20, a hurdle for Herschel. To the 30, to the 40, has blockers to the 50. He may score. To the 30, to the 20, 15, 10, to the 5, out of bounds.
Herschel Walker's kickoff return set up a 1-yard touchdown run by Emmitt Smith and riled up the hometown crowd. But Philadelphia was quick to respond.
The give goes to Waters up the middle. He's got a touchdown. Rookie Waters up the middle gets in.
With the score deadlocked at 7, the Cowboys zeroed in on what they perceived as the Eagles' weak point, quarterback Ty Detman. Dallas blitzed Detmer relentlessly, but the strategy backfired as he found receiver Mark Say in one-on-one coverage, giving the Eagles prime field position. The coaching staff then rang Detmer's number, and the slight signal caller answered the bell.
First and goal from the 6. Detmer on a quarterback draw. He's in for the touchdown. Ty Detmer on a quarterback draw. Walks in for the touchdown. Great call.
I was moving so slow I had time to put moves on.
Dallas trailed 21-13, but defending champions never go down easily. Smith blasted through the Philadelphia defense for a 7-yard score, and tight end Eric Bjornsson's 2-point conversion knotted the game. A fourth-quarter field goal put the Eagles up 24-21. But with under a minute remaining in the game, Troy Aikman and the Cowboys went for the throat.
Complete at the 3. Oh, what a catch. 19 yards. Michael Irvin makes a huge play. And Troy Aikman dropped that feather.
Everyone in tight. I'll bet you he throws it here. Aikman is back. He is looking. He throws into the end zone. Intercepted.
Linebacker James Willis' end zone interception and subsequent lateral to cornerback Troy Vincent started a downfield romp that was more about celebrating than crossing the goal line.
The Eagles win! The Eagles win! The Eagles win!
Hey, man, I can tell you guys how proud I am of everybody in this room. We talked about making a commitment to get it done today. And everybody in this room made that commitment. And I'm proud of you guys, but we got a long ways to go, man. Long ways to go. We're going to keep things in perspective, man. It's a huge win for us.
Both clubs would eventually finish at 10-6, with the Cowboys taking the division.
We're upbeat and positive about everything, man. They're a damn good football team. And they're a team we'll see again. But again, guys, I'm proud of you. And hey, man, let's just enjoy it. But we got to get ready to go back to work next week.
أوربت تحطم الرقم القياسي مع أفضل تغطية رياضية.
Hi, I'm Russell Cooch. You're watching Seamaster Sailing.